Well, hello, podcast fans. It's Tim here. Now, we are dropping a preview, a special preview. You should feel real lucky. I have a special episode of my other podcast, my side hustle, introducing into our little feed today. Now, introducing is all about music interviews. I've spoken to Silverchair, Royal Otis, Rudimental, Angie McMahon, Jack Antonoff, Jack White, just the Jacks. And today, we've published a chat that goes for an hour. Yeah, with Ricki-Lee. It's not like we've ever been short of a word. So if you want to hear the full interview where Ricki talks highs, lows, happy stories, sad stories, we have a few champagnes on the couch, get your podcast app, search the word introducing, hit the follow button, and away you go. The episode with Ricki will be at the top of the feed. So let's get into this preview, a special preview. It was recorded in her house. Yeah, that's right. I'm allowed in her house sometimes. So I'm actually just at Ricki's house and we're sitting having a drink at the table, which we've been known to do. She's a bit nervous. She's in full promo mode because the album's out today. Ew. So come over whenever you're ready. Have you tied it up though? It's a bit of a shambles in here. All right, you go to your mic. So what I'm going to get you to do is what I get all my guests to do on introducing is introduce themselves like no one's ever heard of you before. Okay. I'm going to have a wee and go and get my notes.
Wait, and I have to do this all by myself? I don't want to do that.
Introduce yourself.
What? Really? Hi, I'm Ricki-Lee. I'm a singer. I sometimes think I'm a radio host, and I pretend to be a TV host. But yeah, I write songs and I sing songs and I perform, and that's the weirdest thing I've ever done is explain what I do.
Lift the room, push your pull.
Well, welcome to the next episode of Introducing. This is a special one for me because I'm interviewing me mate, me little buddy, Ricki-Lee Coulter. Yeah, that's right. You might have heard of her. She's a musician. She's a radio star. She's a TV star. She's a jack of all trades. And yes, we are at her house. So I'm going to keep this intro short because this is the longest podcast I've ever done. And what could I cut out? You know, just two mates chatting on the cleanest white couch you've ever seen, drinking the coldest glass of champagne you've ever tasted. On my own, her album is out now. It's a banger. 10 tracks, all worthy of radio play. So look, sit back, relax, enjoy this because we really enjoyed doing it. My chat with Ricki-Lee.
Lift the room, push your pull.
Well, thanks for having us at your house. As you always.
Anytime. I told you the address the other day and you didn't like that. You're like, I know.
No.
I've realised you really don't like being told what to do.
No. But that's why I think we get along because nor do you.
Neither do I.
Nor do you.
I hate it so
As we
much.
sit on the cleanest couch in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. I got a little, because I know you.
I know, this is the weirdest thing ever. It
Well, because
really
you're
is.
not normally used to doing interviews like with Flan and Jody.
Yeah.
So, like, hey guys, how are you?
Yeah. Gailey and Emily Jade on the GC Hot Tomato.
And look, you know what? I used to interview you as well, so that I used to do that. But
Yeah, I
this
know,
is
but
different
it's
now.
really weird.
It's different now.
You interviewing me because we have a lot of chats.
I know. Well, there was two parts to me because I'm like, oh well, do I just rock up and well, it'll be good because it's. But I also thought, well, no, I want to treat this like I normally do, and I handwrite my notes and I do all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's making me scared. I literally, when we walked in, it was like we were going to try and have sex. That's how awkward it was. It was you're looking at me, I'm looking at you. We're looking around the room.
Do I kiss you first,
How
or
do
just
we
take,
do
do I
this?
take my
do I
clothes
just
off?
take my top? Like it was. I've never felt more weird.
It was like
And
we
I've
both
never-
answered an ad for a sex party.
Yeah, and we're the only two that rocked up.
Okay, so I got a little sneak. I listened to the album, and you have played me songs for like months ago, even as you're working on them. And obviously, we played the singles on the radio so far. But I actually got to hear the album from start to finish today. What did you say? 30 what minutes?
It's a 30-minute album. It might be 31. I'm pretty sure it's 30 because we managed to. Yeah, it's a 30-minute album.
And 10 tracks.
10 songs, 30 minutes. There's one song that's just under 30 minutes, I think. Talking is like 2 minutes 55, I think.
Well, I kind of like, because this is album number 5 for you, I can't speak for the other 4, but I've watched I think a lot of I've watched you. I haven't gone into the studio with you, but I've watched you put this together and make this record. And for anyone listening who thinks being a pop star is easy and a piece of piss, think again, kids. Maybe try studying medicine, because this is hard work. Like you work hard anyway in anything you do, but this is hard work. You put everything into this.
It's hard. It's especially hard because this is the first time it's really not that different. The writing part of making an album is no different to the way I've ever made an album, but this time it's even harder because I am the record label this time. So I'm thinking of everything else at the same time, but it has been really hard.
You glaze over that, but you should mention that you do literally everything. Like you've been like fine tuning photos. I watched you pick fonts. I've watched you work out how like when you open up the vinyl, how it looks. Like
I'm a real stickler for detail, and nothing passes me. I've a hawk eye, and I will fight someone for days and days over the tiniest little thing about a crop of a photo. But there's so much to it. It's like the music is first and foremost, and that has to be good. If that's a piece of shit, it doesn't matter how good the photos are or how good everything is around it.
I did say that to you though, because like a lot of my other friends in the business, when you play us a song and we get to hear it before anyone else, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, I'm terrified that it's not going to be good.
But it's also a really terrifying moment of truth for artists as well, playing songs for friends, because you've lived with these songs that you've got all swept up in, and there really is sometimes a moment of truth where you go to play a song, and Rich and I call it the slap your dick on the table moment. Mm-hmm. If you can put a song on and as it's playing, feel like you've literally just gone, what about that? That feels incredible. But there's a hell of a lot of moments where that thing shrivels up and you're like, oh my God, this is the worst idea. And in the moment you start talking over the song because you're trying to cover things and you hate every second of it. But that's always why it's so nerve-wracking when you play songs to people that you love or your friends or people you work with or people that are close to you or people that you respect, because it means so much and you've already put all the work in. So if you've worked on this song and spent all this money and it's mixed and mastered and someone says it's shit, that's the worst. Yeah. And you have that heart-sinking moment where the air gets sucked out of the room. It's the worst feeling, and it's happened heaps of times.
But I even see, like, even when we play Ghost on the radio for the 9 millionth time, watching the joy that you get from that still gets me a lot, because you're not blasé at all about any of this.
No.
This is real. This is like, you're not just pumping out shit for the sake of it because this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I can see every song, well, from On My Own to Ghost and to even the I Was Made for Loving You that we're playing today.
Yeah.
You're so proud of it.
I am, because every single part, like every bass note, every kick, every sound, every vocal, every backing vocal, every effect, every positioning of the level of anything in the song, like that's all me. I'm all wrapped up in the song. So when I'm hearing it, I'm hearing what things, and I'm watching people's eyes, and I'm seeing what things hit for people, and I'm seeing what cuts through on the radio, and I'm hearing what people hold on to in terms of the hooks. And it's like, as a songwriter, that's where that part becomes really important, because when you're in the room and you're writing a song, you're thinking about it being played on the radio. That's the ultimate respect, is a song getting played on radio, because heaps of people release music and it doesn't get played on the radio.
Well, you interviewed a British band the other day, and they're a cool British band. They do some good stuff. And I'm like, why did you move to America? And they said, well, England doesn't have enough radio stations. Like, we get knocked out from Oasis and Blur still. It's like there's no room for us.
Yeah. It was like that for a long time here in Australia. Pop was a real dirty word. And you know, we live in a real ochre country where we love our rock, our Aussie rock and our pub rock and our classics.
Even country now.
Our country.
I said country, by the way.
Yeah. So. we haven't had enough drinks to be popping that one out just yet. But people for so long just didn't respect pop, or because it was just like, you know, and remember, like, every year when the AFL grand final or the NRL would be on, they only ever wanted, you know, Jimmy Barnes or John Farnham to play. If anyone else, it was shit, and everyone was pissed off.
Because as a culture, we're American obsessed. I always find it weird that musically we're not more aligned to England. I've always said that. I think we should be more guitar bands and leather jackets and standing around with a hand in our pocket.
Yeah.
But we love our American pop stars.
Yeah.
But it feels like you're right. We've always then gone, but it's Australia now, so here's Diesel.
Yeah, and the hard thing as a pop artist, you are compared to the Taylor Swifts and the Beyoncés of the world, who are the richest artists in the world, and pop music is the most expensive genre in the world. And as Aussies, as Aussie artists, Aussie pop artists, we're held to that standard. And if our music isn't that good, if our production doesn't sound that good, if our videos can't stand up to the $2 million budgets for, like 20, 30 grand, you're shit.
You're on that
it's
stage.
POV, and like you are compared to these people. So I've always felt a sense of, and I think because I've been independent from the start of my career, I just always felt that I always had to work so much harder anyway. So it's kind of, I think it's just, it was kind of something that just became a part of me over the last 20 years, that I just give it absolutely everything all the time, every time, no matter what.
When you talk about being compared, like we went to see Taylor Swift last week. How did you feel watching that show?
It's really funny because when you go to those concerts, you have like, as an artist, you have two parts of you. There's the fangirl part that looks at it and just goes, holy shit, this is a person with endless imagination and a budget to make that imagination come true. And then there's the other half of you that's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
how the hell am I ever going to do a show again? I went to see the Beyonce show in Texas and I never wanted to do a show again after that, because it's,
Well, you even said to me, you said, "Mate, if I stand up on stage now after seeing Taylor, I'm just going to feel povo."
I'm going to look so pov. Like, there aren't enough lights in the world to make it look, but that's just, you can't do that. And that's a rule. You can never get into that because that can become quite self-sabotagey. But I again, just something early on, I learnt somehow, somewhere along the way to just not compare. I'm in my own lane. My fight is my fight. And this is a really weird industry where, like, it's not like, I say this all the time, it's not like if you're the fastest runner in a race, you get the gold medal at the Olympics if you're the fastest runner. Mm-hmm. But music is not that. There is no best ever song. There is no album. So I find awards and I find all of these like accolades and comparisons and all of these things really weird, because music is subjective and it's really hard, because sometimes you feel like, hey, what I just did here, if you start comparing, you can really spiral. What I did here and this thing and this thing, and you compare it to that, but that's charting, that's a bit like, you can't do that.
But also there's this thing about I think music's more than any other entertainment medium is it's work hard, but luck.
Luck is
right
so
place,
much
right
a part
time.
of it.
What are we into at the moment? Oh, we've already had one of those. Like
it's like radio is this. It's if they have too much female pop out at one time, the Australian is the first person to get dropped. Or luck. I had a song called "Burn It Down" that was released Fear and Freedom, which was huge for me. We had Raining Diamonds, which went double platinum. Do It Like That went double platinum. It was my first album back after ages. Then we had Crazy, which was huge. And then our fourth single was Burn It Down. That was our summer single. It was locked in every radio station, because that's another thing. If you don't have, you might get like one radio station playing the song on high rotation, but then you don't get the others. And then once the others come on, this one drops off. But if you have them all at the same time, that's amazing. That's like the dream. And that's what makes a song hit, because when you think about it, every time Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift, these big international artists release a song, everyone jumps on them at the same time. So there's no surprise why those songs are big. So then we had this song, Burn It Down, that we were releasing. It was our summer song, and we had the buy-in from every radio station that they were going to go on it all from the start across the board, which is the highest rotation you can get. And it was like, it was insane. It was on for 2 weeks and it was like on fire, this song. And then the bushfires happened, and this song was pulled off the air, and it was the first time in this whole thing that it was all actually coming together, and it was gonna be the thing that exploded, and then it didn't because of luck. So many times in my career it's just not gone my way, and you have to just pick yourself up and you have to go again, and you get these people that are like, oh, what happened, or why isn't this bigger, and you can't ever tell the actual truth to people a lot of the time. There's so much.
They don't know the truth either.
No, but there's so many times in my career where things like that have happened, and you're just like, oh, no. And there's nothing you can do. There is absolutely nothing you can do.
Okay, that's your preview of my full chat with the wonderful Ricki-Lee on her album release day on my own. It's out now. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you'd like to go and search for my podcast on your podcast app, go do it. Search Introducing.
Lift